my cancer experience. It was a gift without a bow, I like to call it, a total reset and a possibility to reinvent myself, an opportunity to find myself and to live authentically. Realize that if it is a cancer, that cancer is not a death sentence. That's the first thing. Secondly, that you are not a number, you're not a statistic. And believe, have trust and faith that you can get out of this in a better way. The main thing, really, I believe, is 95% of what's going on in us is subconscious. So it is really about uncovering those limited beliefs from which we are operating and which we really have no idea about.
Welcome to Birgitta Samavarchian, who is our wonderful guest today, another co-author of Miracles Are Normal, which is launching in just a couple of days. Really excited about that. Geeta is a transformational life coach and she is a stage 4 cancer survivor. And because of that, she is on a mission to help people with severe health diagnoses and empower them to bring out their inner wisdom and strength. I think that is a beautiful mission that you're on, Geeta, and especially because it's lived experience. So tell us more about your story. I'd love to hear it all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so pleased to be here with you, Lauren, and to be on this joint mission of bringing out our stories of miracles are normal and also the divine rebirth, which is what I find has happened to me personally when I had my cancer experience, which was a gift without a bow, I like to call it, and which was a total reset and a possibility to reinvent myself. So, actually, an opportunity to find myself and to live authentically.
That is beautiful. If I may ask, what kind of cancer did you go through?
I had a very unusual cancer. I mean, something that was not expected to be found in somebody like me who was a middle-aged, fit individual who did not have any life excesses because I had a tonsil cancer, which is something that is or used to be expected for people who have been drinking and smoking all their lives, and something that just happens when you're like in your 70s or something like that. And I was like 47, and it was not something that anybody was looking out for. It took a while to find out what it was. I was playing around here with 6 months of me going to the doctor and nothing being found, and me not really being super worried or anything. But in the end, finding out it was tonsil cancer, which is a virus induced cancer, the HPV virus, the same as the cervical cancer virus. HPV
Mm.
16 to be exact. And yeah, it was a tough cancer. It was already in my lymph nodes, and it took 35 radiation treatments, 2 rounds of chemo to get a handle on it. And it took me a year and a half and 2 months on a feeding tube to get over it. But like I said, it was a life changer, but in the best of ways. Looking back, I am
Beautiful.
very grateful. Well, I guess it was in my soul journey somehow for the opportunity to understand what really matters in life and how I actually was not honoring myself and how I learned to really self love and care for myself because that was one thing that was not present. I was always in my head. I was ignoring my emotions. I was suppressing my pain and feelings. And so it was not a healthy way to live. I was just always
Yeah.
a human doing, not a human being, running, doing, and working, and people pleasing, and so on and so forth. Yes, it was very important lessons that I learned through getting sick.
Yeah, I can hear that. Wow. And what kept you going? I know you said you did a lot of self-love and self-care. Were there things that really helped you through those really dark times emotionally and physically?
What helped me through there? Well, the funny thing was that once I got the diagnosis, my first reaction was a very unexpected one, where I had a sense of relief, of deep relief, saying like, what? That means I don't have to go back to work? Which was so surprising to me because I loved my work and I fully identified myself with it. I felt very fulfilled and everything, but it must have been such a pressure, such a heavy load to carry. And me at that point thinking I'm superwoman, I can have it all, I can do it all, I can work at the top of my game, maybe give 120% in every aspect of my life as a wife, as a mother, as an employee, and also with a very busy life outside of these things, taking care of your home, you have the pets and friends that you invited, you entertained, and they traveled, and then you wanted to exercise, and this and that, and have maybe any other hobbies. So yeah, I was like burning the candle on both ends. And so the first word that came into my mind was, what is there to learn? What's the message here? What is the deeper message? And then I don't know, I just soul searched, wound licked, started to, for the first time, accept help, really, support from mainly my incredible husband and friends and family, and just letting myself fall and being dependent on somebody else. It was a lesson in humility for me, because I thought I was the one who had everything in my hands and I was in charge, and I felt that was how life is. And then I started to just question so many things, like, who said I have to work so hard? And realizing like there's no rules out there. I thought it was society, but then I realized no, these were my own unwritten rules, my own standards I had set for myself and that I thought I had to live up to. And I realized that, oh my God, I've put so much pressure on myself, right? So I was just open. I really was open for new concepts and new thinking and new learnings. And I started studying, and it was like the most amazing time where I just really grasped at anything that could be a new impulse, a new understanding, a new way of looking at things. And then I was lucky enough to have some wonderful cancer support programs here in Toronto, Canada. And one of them was called Wellspring. And so I did this mindfulness-based stress reduction course, which taught me to be observing my thoughts and being in my body and feeling my feelings and not just be in my head. And then I realized I have to be, in order to heal, I have to heal on so many different levels. I'm not a car that you take to the garage and you say, okay, come fix me through the doctor. So I realized that I have to allow myself to heal on so many levels. And I did accept graciously and gratefully the help I was getting here at the hospital, which was a phenomenal place where they really knew what they were doing with stage 4 cancer, because at that point I didn't think I could do anything else than accept the standard treatments. And so, yes, that helped me, but I was also open to learn on so many other levels.
That sounds incredible. So, what was the work you were doing before? I'm guessing then you weren't a transformation life coach before you went through this experience.
No, I actually represented my home country, Austria, for 35 years in the field of tourism, food and drink and wine.
Wow. Oh, that's incredible.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
and so what drew you to writing the chapters in Divine Rebirth and Miracles Are Normal? How did that come about?
So the Divine Rebirth book was actually my cancer journey, which
Ah,
I wrote down many years ago. I had the cancer in 2012, and right away I had the feeling like I want to share the information. I want to share how I feel like it has empowered me. This experience has helped me to become mm, more me, authentically me, which allows a fulfilled life, which allows an awakened life and a spirituality, with being here in the moment and being present.
mm.
And please lead me back into the question because I lost my train of thought.
So I was just asking what led you to the book. So Divine Rebirth, and you were going to
Yes.
speak now about
Yeah.
Miracle Normal.
Yes, absolutely. It was a miracle of sorts because it was the miracle which I also then later on in Miracles Are Normal, I am describing the miracle in my body that I discovered during a silent retreat, Vipassana retreat, where I really realized how the body has been keeping the score. And by storing all the emotional echoes of the traumas and things that I've gone through, and was able to transcend so many of those, and really literally knowing what it was all about while it was happening. Like I was able to connect the experience with what was going on in my body. And so there were so many crazy experiences that I was able to witness that made me feel so connected and so deeply in tune with myself, that I found I really would like to write a story about, and that's what I did in Miracles Are Normal.
Oh, that's amazing. And what kind of advice would you give to someone, or what's your message for someone today who is going through something like you went through?
To realize that if it is a cancer, that cancer is not a death sentence. That's the first thing. Secondly, that you are not a number, you're not a statistic. Do not believe any statements that a doctor might make. They make it to cover themselves because they have to give you certain information,
Mm.
but they haven't calculated who you are and what you can do. And believe, have trust and faith that you can get out of this in a better way after this experience. The main thing, really, I believe, is 95% of what's going on in us is subconscious. So it is really about uncovering those limited beliefs from which we are operating and which we really have no idea about, even though we might think we do. So you can live that super healthy lifestyle. You can eat that super clean diet. You can do everything right, like I did. Actually, my family doctor was shocked when I came to her with my cancer diagnosis because she said, you have
Mm.
always been my perfect patient. How is that possible? Like, I mean, what does that tell you? Yeah, and everybody was shocked because I was always the queen of green and the person who was aware of all the health information and talking about chemicals in our diet and in our cleaning detergents or whatever it is. I had always been informed and passing information on to other people, but that is not the whole picture. It is important, it's very important, but it's not the whole picture. I think the main picture really is emotions. And
Mm.
so you can lead this perfect lifestyle in every way, but if emotionally something needs to be looked at, something's got to give if it's not being looked at. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. So what do you think was the underlying emotion? If you had to put a finger on it, what would be the underlying emotion that was causing the cancer?
That's a good question. I would probably say that it is self-worth.
Hmm.
I want to call it culprit. It is what I must have thought as a child. And it all goes back to the childhood, to our first 7 years of life. Self worth is something that plays into everything and that made me overcompensate in many ways and overfunction and overwork and
Hmm.
over schedule, over plan. Coping mechanisms, right? I had realized that over time though, but it took me so long to really I call it like my heart wasn't bleeding for myself. It was bleeding for everybody and everything else, but I didn't really deeply have that compassion and true self-love
Yeah.
for myself. And I think that is so crucial. And the other thing is that presence. I was always in such a rush just to achieve things and do things and say things, talking fast, processing fast, doing everything fast, just to take it off, so to speak. But there's so much wisdom in slowing down,
Yeah.
in taking time,
Mm.
in being really present with yourself and others in a conversation. It
Hmm.
is just uncanny what it brings out.
Absolutely. So are there any rituals that you do today? So I know you've done the 10 days silent retreat. What do you do in your daily life now that helps you slow down and just be present like that?
Well, it's a work in progress. It's always going on because I have a personality. I'm interested in so many things and I like to learn and I like to do. And so I do have to really force myself to find that peace almost. But I think it's important to give yourself a break. Social media is important to disconnect. And when I go away, which I'm actually going tomorrow to Panama to meet my husband, it's really shut it all off and just be. That is very important to me. But in my daily life, it's very important to find a time for movement, body movement in the morning, for breathing exercises,
Mhm.
for even before that, tuning in the morning. I think that's one of the most important things. A 3-minute ritual of tuning into your body and setting a tone for the day. I used to wake up and my body was in pain, and I was like, it hurts here, it hurts there. How many places are there today? And so now I realize it's a frequency. It is the frequency in our body that creates the pain, because the brain is actually so genius that it wants to protect us by causing pain so you don't feel your feelings. And
Mhm.
once I realized that, so that obviously goes into different directions. But once I realized that there's a time that you need to take to feel your feelings, and journaling will help you with that. But
Mhm.
also to just rephrase and reframe and take that pattern interrupt, that deep breath throughout the day, all
Mhm.
the time, to bring you
Mhm.
back into present. So yeah, it's manifold. It's the breathing, it's the tuning in, it's the yoga in the morning, and also I really like human garage. I like the fascia work, which is very important to me. And then the journaling, going out in the early morning sunlight, that really helps your body, actually helps your hormones, helps you in so many ways. Being connected to nature. These are all very good methods of bringing you back home. And the
Yeah.
breath, always the breath.
They're also really good nervous system regulators as well.
Exactly.
So
It's
much
all
talk.
about the nervous system. Yes.
Everyone's talking about the nervous system and regulating the nervous system. So that's fantastic. And is
Mhm.
there any other message that you would like to give today? Anything else that you would like to say that you feel is on your heart to speak about?
I didn't think about anything before, but now that you ask, you are precious, you are unique, you are special. And you came here for this incredible time, which looks like it's a horror show, but it's actually such a wonderful time to be alive, because it's the end of the old world, which we see crumbling and going down in the most horrible way, in the shape of wars and all sorts of institutions we used to believe in, people we used to believe in going down. But this is the birth pain of a new world and a new era, and us gaining the power of going forward and making a difference in our lives, which makes a difference in other people's lives. So just find what is your bliss, follow your bliss, and those vibrations carry very far. Tune into peace and don't let yourself get bothered by the noise outside. That would be my message.
Beautiful. That is an incredible message. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. In the other sessions that I've done with people, we've started introducing a section where everyone gets to share their magic. I don't know if that's something you'd like to do. So, any particular way or thing or technique or something that you would want to share today, if there's anything that you feel that you might want to demonstrate the kind of work that you do with people.
Well, one thing that comes in very handy throughout the day is energy work, tapping, EFT,
Ah,
emotional freedom technique. I don't
yeah.
know if you're aware
I
of
love
that.
tea
Yeah.
practitioner. Absolutely love it.
It's a little bit hard for me to do it because I'm holding my phone here. But let me just say this, that throughout the day, or when you feel stressed, just take a deep breath and just tap under the collarbone here on the left side with your right hand and just breathe and just tap through it. You don't even have to have any words, any particular words for it. And that will help your nervous system get regulated and it will help you relax. It lowers your cortisol levels in your body, your stress hormone. And just keep doing that. And if you are driving and you get mad, you can also do that on the top of your hand between the last two fingers. You can just tap in there and come down a little bit that way. So maybe that is a helpful tool for every day.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love EFT. I believe in it 100%. How long have you been doing EFT for?
Since 2012, when I started learning about all these healing
Oh,
modalities, therapeutic touch, emotional freedom technique were two of the techniques. And then also guided imagery and visualization. That was another thing that I learned at that point.
wow. So these are things that helped you through your cancer journey as well.
Yes, even through the radiation, I remember like tuning in really and talking to my body and my cells. And yeah,
Beautiful. Have you done self-hypnosis as well?
oh,
That
actually, I haven't. I
there's
haven't
so
explored that
many.
at all yet.
There's so many amazing YouTube videos with really good self-hypnosis therapists who basically just lead you. It's also kind of guided imagery. It's sort of
Uh-huh.
like a meditation, but they take you under and then give you messages that, help you heal. There's amazing ones for healing.
Wow.
Nowadays, if I am ever trying to heal myself of anything, like just even the common cold or a headache or a migraine or I stub my toe, whatever, anything, I will always I'll use homeopathic medication. That's the one thing. And I will
Yeah.
put on some kind of self-hypnosis. So I'll go and actively look on YouTube, like self-hypnosis for low
Wow.
back pain or whatever. Or
Amazing. Great tip. I'll check that out.
amazing. It's like one of those just incredible things. But I so agree with you on the EFT as well. It's just amazing. It's one of those things that actually, if it was the only tool we had in our toolbox, it would still be enough.
I so wish that the meditation, EFT, nutrition would be taught in schools.
Yes,
Something so
true.
life changer, life changer.
Children take to it. It's amazing.
Sense
If
of
you, have you
empowerment.
children?
Yeah.
Yeah, children take to it because they
Yeah.
don't block it. A lot of adults will, when they see you starting with the EFT, they're like, that looks a little bit odd. I remember even
Yeah.
thinking when I started with it, I was like, wow, that's a bit too kooky even for me. And then when I started to understand that it was all about acupuncture points and those
Meridian.
points relate to your organs and how the organs relate to the emotions. And when I got the whole picture and the understanding of it, I really took to it. And
Yeah.
I've worked with a few children and they just don't have any of those opinions. They don't have a point of view about it. And so it
Yeah.
goes really quickly working with them.
It's just more natural. They're not being
Yeah.
taught yet not to be natural.
Yeah, and they find it fun. They find it like a little
Yeah.
game that you can play.
Mm.
So I think it's great. Have you thought of doing that, bringing it into working with children, or do you use it with your own children?
I've used it with my own children, but they're grown up. They're 30 and 35. And if I get the chance to show it to someone, I will. I
Ah,
do in my life. But right now, I'm kind of focusing on people who are going through a health diagnosis. So I want
mm,
to be,
very
but
specific.
mainly
Mm,
by just teaching them how to empower themselves, to become an advocate for themselves, and to understand that we are the creators. We are totally the creators of our own lives. And even a health diagnosis like that is something that we had a hand in, unbeknownst to us. And not to take this as a negative, just to realize that the body is there, its body is speaking to us. And the only
yeah,
way the body can speak to us is through symptoms. And it's our best friend, and our body loves us. Every one of those trillions of cells is love and
so true.
energy. So this is what we have at our hands, a tool to work with. So what a wonderful opportunity we have, really. And
Oh,
the
I love
same with life and manifestation of our life's goals, It's not woo-woo, it is science actually, that
it.
you put it into the field by imagining it and by feeling the emotion attached to it, seeing yourself already there. That's how you put it into the field and then it can come to you. We
Yeah,
are the creators, really.
it's quantum physics. You're right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. So where would somebody reach you? So if somebody's watching this today, what is the best way for them to connect with you? What's the next step for them?
I guess the easiest is brigittahealing.com.
Hmm.
So my first name,
Yes.
Birgitta
Mhm.
hyphen healing.com. That is my
Brilliant.
website.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And you're also in our school community, Miracles Are
Yes,
Normal, so they can connect
yes,
with you there as well.
yes.
And that's been so amazing. Thank you.
And the two books are available on Amazon, Divine Rebirth
Yeah.
and Miracles Are Normal. The ebook version costs you as much or less than a cup of coffee. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Absolutely wonderful. Yes, that launches this Friday. Miracles Are Normal launches on Friday, 27th of March. So
Yes,
let the games begin. And you'll be in
yes.
Panama then. Will you be on
Yeah, yes.
holiday?
Well, we have a house in Panama, so we spend our winters there. And that is why I'm focusing on the travel and healing retreats, which are in exotic locations like Panama or Turkey, where I spend time as well, or any other place really in the world. It could be
Oh,
Canada, it could be Austria. I have a lot of intimate knowledge of many places.
beautiful. That's amazing. I love that. Oh, it's been so good to talk to you. And
Lauren, thank you so
one
much.
last, oh, pleasure. Do you want to leave one last parting message before we go?
Live your bliss.